Hello! This video is about culture of ancient Egypt. This topic is very interesting, voluminous and one of my favorites. So, I want to tell a lot. Egyptian culture was all about preparing for the transition to another world. And separating mythology and art is problematic. I decided not to make one big video, but to break it into parts about religious beliefs, about afterlife and about art. So stock up on popcorn. The ancient Egyptians called their country Takimet. It's translated Black Land. As after the floods of the Nile, in the fields remained a lot of silt, making the soil black and fertile. Also Tameri, land of the hoe. The name Egypt, Aegyptos, is Greek. In 4000 BC, in the valley of the Nile, appeared the first state formation of the ancient Egyptians, septs, in Greek nomes. The struggle between them led to the formation of two large states, Upper and Lower Egypt. And then, around 3100 BC, the pharaoh Menes united them. Then there was another name of the country, Taui, two lands. The patroness of Lower Egypt was the goddess snake Wadjet. Her image was placed on Urei, the ruler's diadem, which in turn was put on a crown of a certain shape. In Upper Egypt, the central place was a goddess vulture, Nekhbet, and her image was also placed on the Urei, worn on a crown of a different shape. When the country was united, the crowns seemed to be put on one another, and two images of patrons were placed on Urei. In the pre-civilization period, fetishism and totemism were developed among the tribes of the Nile Valley. Among the fetishists, the most famous are the jet pillar, a symbol of fertility in the form of Shiv, and the primary Benben hill, the habitat of the phoenix bird, a symbol of rebirth. Among totemic animals was bull, cow, snake, hippo, crocodile, etc. The religious beliefs of the Egyptians were formed from layers of different times. So, not only did different gods have different names, but the one god could have different names at different times of the day. For example, god Sun, as rising the sun, was called Hepri, as the sun in zenith, Ra, as the sun before decline of, Atum. Egyptian gods were often represented as zoanthropomorphic, like humans but with the head of an animal. The term is from the Greek words zoon animal, anthropos human and morphia form. Different gods were worshipped in different nomes of Egypt. So in Memphis, Ptah, the god of earth, water and the world mind, was the creator of the world. In Hermopol was 8 primordial gods Ogdoad. These are pairs consisting of male and female deities. Nun and Naunet are the water element. Huk and Hauket, infinity. Kuk and Kauket, darkness. Amon and Amaunet, hidden. As first, the last pair were Niau and Niaut, negation and nothing. In Heliopolis, it was believed that the first was the water house Nun. It gave birth to Atum-Ra, who gave birth to the god of air Shu and the goddess of moisture Tifnut. They gave birth god of earth Geb and the sky goddess Nut. They gave birth to Osiris, Isis, Set, and Nephthys. There are 9 gods or Ennead. And don't let it bother you that brothers and sisters have sex and produce offspring. Incest, not only with brothers and sisters, but also with parents or childs, for ancient religions this is usual case, which does not affect offspring in any way. Interesting fact, in traditional tribes the situation is similar. They do not degenerate. Scientists explain this by the fact that they have practically no recessive genes. I tried to bring together all the ancient Egyptian gods in the one genealogical scheme, at least those who had any no family relationship. This scheme is not a period or a town, but a maximum of layers of different times and territories of ancient Egypt. There are Ptah and Ogdoad and Ennead and other gods. The ancient Egyptians in the 14th century BC made the first attempt to create monotheism. One of the pharaohs, Amenhotep IV, organized a religious reform, as a result of which he established monotheism. He declared the true god Aton, solar disk, and began to call himself Echnaton, pleasing to Aton. The cults of the other gods was forbidden. Scientists debating about the reason of this decision of Pharaoh. Perhaps the existence of different beliefs in different nomes prevented the centralization of the state. Or Echnaton was hindered by a large number of priests who interfered in the process of governing the country. But the changes were short-lived, and after the death of this pharaoh, the cults of the old gods were restored under the influence of the priests. Nefertiti, the wife of Amenhotep IV, supported him in religious reform. Some scientists even think that she was the initiator. Perhaps the queen could not give birth to a son and therefore faded into the background. But according to another version, Echnaton made her as a ruler under the name of Nefer-Nefru-Aton. To continue the dynasty, a marriage was made between Tutankhamun, son of Echnaton and his second wife Kia, and Anaxinamon, daughter of Echnaton and Nefertiti. Tutankhamun is the most famous Egyptian pharaoh. At birth, he was named Tutankhaton. He was very young when his father died. He sat on the throne at the age of 10. By this time, the religious and political course had already changed toward the return of the old gods, so Amon appeared at the end of the name. As you know, at this age, it is very difficult to govern the country independently, but Tutankhamun died at the age of 19. All this suggests two conclusions. First, he was a political dog. Second, perhaps with age he began to show character and expect an opinion that the real rulers did not like, and they organized his murder. Tutankhamun's tomb was not completed at the time of his death, and the pharaoh was burned in another, a small one. That is why it remained untouched, unlike many others, at the time of its discovery in 1922 by the English archaeologist Howard Carter. At this time, there was a great interest in the culture of ancient Egypt, For almost 100 years, many tombs and mummies have been found. Art has been discovered and writing has been decoded. There was an all-independent science, Egyptology. It's no exaggeration to say that the religious beliefs of the Egyptians influenced the whole Western civilization through the Egyptian-Greek cultural interaction, especially in the Hellenistic period. Such ideas as faith in the dying and the resurrecting God, the idea of the kingdom of Osiris as a place of blissful afterlife, as paradise, the judgment of Osiris, where the dead are judged for their action in the earthly life, etc., found their continuation in the Abrahamic religions, Judaism, Christianity, Islam. About all this and other ideas about the afterlife, I will talk in the next video. This topic was part of my dissertation research, so the story will be detailed. Don't forget to subscribe my channel. Please like this video. If you find a mistake in my English, please write to me in the comments. Thank you for your attention.